Log4Shell, the biggest cybersecurity vulnerability of the decade, is making the headlines of the news for the past 1 week. It is suspected that more than half of the corporate networks have already been impacted by it. Using it, attackers are targeting private networks, virtual networks, various games, and IP cameras, and whatnot. So let's try to understand how this vulnerability came to light. What is Log4Shell exactly, and how it is exploiting so many networks? Let's start with when and how this vulnerability was found. Alibaba's cloud security team first reported this vulnerability to Apache's team on 24th November. As per Cloudflare's team, however, this vulnerability was being exploited from 1st December, 9 days before its public disclosure. To understand the vulnerability in depth, let's start with understanding what is Log4j and what is Log4j2. Log4j is an open source Apache logging framework widely used by Java applications, which developers use to log various debug information or user inputs in their applications. Since Java is platform independent, hence it can run on any operating system, increasing the impact of any vulnerability found. Log4j2 by default enables a feature called message lookup substitution on the strings of following format, which provides a way to evaluate and substitute strings dynamically during runtime. There are multiple types of lookups that Log4j2 supports, like environment, Docker, JNDI, Java, etc. Let's look at this example. Here, we are using the logger method, which is info, and we are trying to print a message, which is current user logged in, and here we are trying to use the Log4j2 lookup functionality to fetch the user and variable from the environment variables. So while evaluating or interpreting this particular string, Log4j will print current user logged in and the name of the current user, which is in this case Lavanya. Log4Shell is mainly associated with Log4j2 JNDI message lookup functionality. So let's first try to understand what is JNDI and how it is causing this vulnerability. JNDI stands for Java Naming Directory and Interface. It provides us with APIs to interact with remote objects using protocols like LDAP, RMI, DNS, etc. Java applications can use JNDI interface to find required objects based upon name from LDAP or RMI or DNS servers, which can be hosted either locally or on a remote server hosted anywhere on internet. This means if an attacker can modify the LDAP or RMI URL, they can execute their own Java code on your system. JNDI attacks are happening since ages, but JNDI lookup feature came to Log4j2 in 2013. Hence, JNDI vulnerability was existing since 2013 in Log4j2 code base. Now let's try to understand how a Log4Shell attack gets executed. By seeing this particular flow, we can summarize the attack in 4 simple steps. An attacker will inject a malicious JNDI LDAP URL into the application input that will be logged by Log4j2. The Log4j2 logger will parse the JNDI URL and the vulnerable application will reach out to malicious LDAP server looking for the payload object. The LDAP or RMI server owned by attacker on a remote host will receive the request and responds with the object location that contains the result of the lookup. The Log4j2 requests the remote object from the web service, which responds with a serialized Java object payload. The payload leverages a Java object deserialization vulnerability, which will result in the execution of the remote command in user context of the web application. As soon as web application executes the remote command, it is possible that it can get infected or it can get hacked. To fix the vulnerability Log4 shell, Apache released a newer version which is 2.15. But it was not far enough that on 14th December another vulnerability was reported in all the versions of Log4j2 including 2.15. Most updates around this exploit are still being published, so I would request you to keep on tracking this particular vulnerability on the website mentioned in the slides. So let's understand what was the issue. In the previous version released by Log4j 2.15, they restricted only JNDI lookups under default settings to local hosts. However, non-default logging configurations could still be exploited by JNDI lookups to for malicious inputs and induce DOS attacks. So which Java and Log4j versions are impacted? For Log4j2, all the versions below 2.16 are impacted. If we talk about V1 branch of Log4j, which is less than or equal to 1.x, there are many other vectors which can be exploited. However, the message loop functionality came into picture only after Log4j2 version. Hence, by Log4 shell, it is still little difficult and actually very difficult to exploit it in 1. Versions. However, there are still some steps that can be taken to avoid other attack vectors. If we talk about Java, all the versions listed like 8, 7, 6 and 11 upwards don't load the remote classes by default of JNDI. However, there are other attack vectors that can still be exploited. Let's talk about the remediation. So these are the 4 remediation that are given on the Apache websites. So I have quoted as it is. So for Log4j 2.16, they introduced the fix by removing the support for message lookup patterns and disabling the JNDI altogether. If you are on Java 8 or later, you should upgrade to the latest version of Log4j2, which is 2.16. If you are using Java 7, you can upgrade to the newer version that will be released, and the version number will be 2.12.2. Otherwise, you can exclude the JNDI lookup class from your class path using this command, which is quoted here. I would still request you to keep on following the Apache official website to know about the latest remediations or fixes that are being introduced. There are a lot of updates being published daily on the official websites of this vulnerability. So I would highly advise you to follow the official website of Apache and follow the remediations given over there. If you like the content and would like to see the similar content in future, please like and subscribe. See you soon all in next video.